Before, it used to be like, hey, can you review our software? Now it's like, can you put these exact words on your website? AI is massively impacting any kind of content business, including ours. Unique opinions are basically being ignored.
Wiped from the internet. People prefer our video, but AI prefers the AI video. And I think the most disheartening part has been, oh gosh, do I want to say this?
You will get canceled, but go for it. So we wanted to do a podcast to catch up with our audience, answer some frequently asked questions, and talk about the ways that AI is impacting our business. There's been so much going on behind the scenes that I think nobody really has the insight into. So we want to just share a little bit about what we've been seeing, especially because, I mean, everybody's talking about like, is AI going to take my job? And I feel like that is what we're going through right now.
Yeah, it's this thing where AI has been impacting our business a lot more than I think we even realize it has been. And through conversations we've been having recently, I think we've realized where and how. And we just wanted to film something and talk through that because these are the things that it's actually taken us a lot of time to understand. Even the fact of videos that we used to script, we're now like, do we not script them? All these things fundamentally that we learned how to do things in the right way is now the wrong way. And I think we just want to talk through why that is the case.
Yeah, I mean, it's like no secret that AI is massively impacting any kind of content business, including ours. And I think the reason that we got into content in the first place is because you and I love researching. We accumulated expertise over the years in this space. And when we started doing YouTube and our website, we just loved sharing our knowledge.
Yeah.
But now, of course, with AI, everybody is asking AI for recommendations of which software to choose. And I mean, for every industry, right?
AI appears to have the knowledge, the deepest knowledge on everything. And I think that's the part that it's like, wait, but what's our role in this then? But what is that knowledge? And
what part of that has been the most disheartening for you?
realizing that we always felt like we held a badge around, we're going to tell people how it is. And what we say might go against what people are told. And that's what I think we were very proud of because we would actually be the ones to speak up and not just take money from any company to then say what they want us to say. And I think the most disheartening part has been realizing that LLMs don't function when there is someone who is saying something that is not what consensus is. I think that has probably hurt the most because we can now speak up and LLMs are like, oh, that's not what we wanted to hear, so we're not going to share it.
Yeah, so let's just open up that box a little bit. So in terms of when you search for basically absolutely anything, it could be best sunscreen, best CRM, you're going to see now in Google, there's AI overviews. And that's basically how that works is that LLMs will give recommendations based on popularity and consensus across a bunch of publications, YouTube videos, Reddit posts, LinkedIn posts, etc.
Yeah.
So, for example, when you search best AI CRM and you get HubSpot and Zoho and Salesforce, of course, Alex and I are like literally putting our head in our palms going like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is
just
furthest from the truth.
Correct. Yes.
So where we feel like AI is really getting things wrong is that it is just looking at what does the general internet say about topics?
And what is the most likely answer to that question versus what is the right answer to that question, or what is the most up-to-date answer to that question?
Which leads us into what a lot of people in the SEO space are focusing on right now.
Yeah.
And it's learning how to manipulate AI to say what it wants. So all these companies like HubSpot and all the ones that we're talking about are really proud that they are the most cited in LLMs, but they've been working on this behind the scenes for years to seed little seeds everywhere across the internet saying the exact same thing so then they can be cited in LLMs.
Yeah.
So I think what's hard about that is that obviously, like, it just brings us back to the companies with the largest marketing budgets will inform what these AI tools say.
Yeah.
And then I think the part that's hard for us is that we have always enjoyed having a contrarian take based on what we've seen with our own eyes and experience. And we've enjoyed writing that and making videos about that, and then realizing that AI will basically completely ignore anything that is just not consensus or popular. And that for me,
Which was okay, though, at the time because people would go to our website and they would read what we have to say. And I think this is the part that's changed everything is now less people go to websites because who's your best friend that you're talking to? It's ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. So you're now asking the things versus before going to Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever your thing of choice was, but you click on a website and then you would read. If anything, now people, even if they happen to land on the website, they're now asking their AI chatbot in the sidebar what it thinks of it. So everything is now manipulated through the lens of what LLMs think, which directly goes against the way that we cover software.
so the punchline is that unique opinions are basically being ignored.
Wiped from the internet.
And that is scary.
Yeah.
That is scary as a consumer.
Yeah.
In other areas, if I'm searching for a supplement or something like that. And it's scary when you're the one that's writing and you kind of start feeling like, is there even a point to this? Because I'm not just repeating and parroting what already exists on the internet.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about how LLMs are being manipulated by these brands.
Yeah.
So we obviously are on both sides of it. So we have brands reaching out to us. And before it used to be like, hey, can you review our software? Now it's like, hey, can you put these exact words on your website? Hey, can you make a video? And honestly, I don't even care about quality. I just care about the transcript. And can you say these exact words?
Yeah.
And what's scary is that, like, for one, obviously we don't do that. There'd be no joy in this job if that's all that we did. But there are a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'll take whatever amount of money for a LinkedIn post and write this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a video about this. Like some people, and I mean, I understand you're probably like, what's the harm? It's just one thing.
Yeah.
But the benefit to these brands is that they have all these seeds planted and they're then manipulating like everyone, the entire population.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer to this is. I think for my own AI use, I've definitely become a lot more skeptical and less trusting. And I think if anybody is like, whatever your industry is, the person that's searching, if you're doing AI searches, you're probably dissatisfied with the answer that it's giving you, the area that you're the expert in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've become more skeptical, but in terms of our own content, I think I've become like more motivated to write authentically, but also kind of sad that I'm like, I don't even know if anybody's going to get to see this.
Yeah. Like we might put, just so much work into a video and then someone searches for that video review or best category and then not our video shows up in the AI overview. It is an AI video that shows up that is just saying like pros and cons and this templated stuff. And and you even click on the video and the video has like 60 views and ours might have tens of thousands of views. Which one of these are better to the end user? So I think that's also kind of just like a demoralizing piece that it's like clearly people prefer our video, but AI for some reason prefers the AI video because
Yeah.
the AI video is written for AI and then people get the answer from AI and it's actually not people who are answering their question. It is truly AI answering their question.
Yeah. And I think this like just to drive this point home. So we saw this headline. Time Magazine is now running ads meant specifically to influence AI agents.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what this is all about?
Yeah. So publishers are trying to figure out how to monetize because they're getting less and less clicks going to their website. And the way that publishers used to make money would be from someone going to the website, either having to purchase a subscription to be able to read or just having a ton of ads on that page. And they had enough page views that they can actually make money from those ads. Now, Time is one of the largest publishers, and they've kind of decided, oh, well, if we're just going to be getting scraped from all of these bots reading our page and going to be summarizing it for other people, what if we actually injected ads in the version that only the bots get to see? So let's say, for example, HubSpot goes and pays them and says, can you write in the middle of this that HubSpot is the best AI CRM? And then it just ends up being part of the training data that these LLMs read. And it's just manipulating it. So they think that this is a good path to go. They don't feel like they're hurting anyone, but they're inherently having two versions of their website, two versions of a write-up, one written differently for AI. So now, in fact, if you actually read what they're saying, You get the human version, and now an AI reads the AI, and they get the AI version that's manipulated, and they're saying that we're running ads in it. So then you're going to be the human asking AI, and you're going to get the AI version that has ads in it. It's baffling that is even where we're landing on. I think it is so the wrong direction for a publisher to go. I get why they're trying that.
Yeah. I think also as a writer, when I see all these guides that are like, here's how you should write for bots and have just a chart. It's always the chart recommendations. And I'm like, I hate those charts.
Yeah.
I hate them when I see them on a website. So yeah, for me, it's been like, I've been resisting just doing what I need to do for AI. Equally, though, there's obviously some strategy in it. So I don't know. I don't really have the answer. It's just been more something that we've been thinking a lot about.
Yeah.
So, with that, we're going to be making some changes in terms of how we're approaching YouTube videos. Actually, we've already started making these changes. They're on the channel. So,
Yeah.
one big thing is, and I just want to bring people along on this journey a little bit. So when we started doing YouTube, it came from a place of literally, let's just do this for fun. And we never used to script our videos, and we would just talk at the camera. And we've had editors be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
You need to stop and you need a script.
Yes.
You know, the videos that turned out the way they did, like, thank you to the editing team.
Yes.
Let's just say that. So then when YouTube started taking off, we wanted to get better at YouTube. And everybody in the YouTube strategy space says you have to pay attention to your retention. So when you release a YouTube video, you can see where people fall off and leave your video. And you want to try to keep people as long as possible.
You want to do open loops. So it's like you say a thing and you give a payoff, but you immediately open up a new thing to keep them. And it almost so deeply takes you out of what you're actually trying to say, because you're just trying to check the box of doing the good YouTube script. And then all of a sudden your videos start sounding like AI, even though they're the things that we're getting across and saying it. And I think we just started, like, our entire personality started just being removed from the videos.
Yeah, like we felt a pressure. What is it, like value per minute?
Yeah.
We felt the pressure to pack as much into our videos, not ramble at all.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like retention did improve in some cases. But now with AI, we just feel like almost repulsed by that idea because we actually know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We actually don't need AI to script.
Yeah.
So the Victor video, for example, that's on our channel, that was totally unscripted. And we love how that turned out because I think we were genuinely so excited to use it, the tool. And then that just came across on camera.
Yeah. And I think there's been a metric that I've had when watching a video that I've done, for example, and that is when I watch it back, do I feel like anyone could have made that video had they had that information? The reflection was when we'd have friends over or we'd talk with people, they'd be like, you get so excited about all this stuff. And then we watch the video and we're like, why are we not excited? Well, it's because we're doing YouTube retention stuff. And then it's like, oh, shoot, we've actually like gotten rid of the one thing that I think made us more approachable, which was the authenticity of just like, we're just passionate about this stuff. And not many people are. And I think that's our differentiation.
Yeah. So we're going to double down on that. And the way that we like script or plan our YouTube videos, I'll say, like we have hours of conversation about like, what was your experience with this tool? Like, what do you think the future is? And we talk about this for so long. So then we take all of that. And before we used to put it into a script, now we're going to just bullet point it. So, you know, there's still some kind of structure.
There needs to be structure.
But we're not going to be trying to get every word down. We're going to just talk naturally like we would.
Inflection, normal stuff, normal human things. Because they're saying now you just need to have proof of human, which is just...
Which I guess I'm like, we have that. And we don't need to fake that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to this tweet by Alex Cohen. It reads, I've now added Whisper, Notion, Granola, Fireflies, Zoom, Gemini, Cluely, Otter, Fathom, Read AI, and WingRep to every meeting. Each produces slightly different meeting notes. I send all of them to Claude and ChatGPT, which push the summaries into Slackbot and Salesforce AI. Linear agents automatically create tickets while Notion agents create follow-ups in Notion. A Zapier workflow then uses 500K tokens to draft a follow-up email in Superhuman. None of it works and all of it is wrong, but man, is it beautiful. AGI is here.
Yeah.
I think I just like wanted to quickly cover on like, yeah, a lot of tools are building the same thing. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's this... it's the same thing. And then the question is, well, which one should I use? And the whole point of that is just like, yes, Whisper Flow now has a meeting note taker, and what does it do differently? I could say at the most, like, I know top level, it labels who said what, which is kind of like Otter, whereas Granola doesn't really do that. The also question is, how important is that? How different are the notes? Well, they're both using the same models and changing the models around a little bit with different pre-prompting. It's really not anything different. And really the valuable thing there is the transcript, I would say. And they're all doing the transcript the exact same ways.
Okay, so we have an audience question from Tristan. He says, what's your favorite meeting recording notes app? Our company uses built-in Gemini for meeting notes, but he's seen ads for Granola, but he hasn't tried it out himself.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I just said Granola, but I will say that when you're using Google products, this is the same thing with Google Voice, because back in the day when we were an integration business, I wanted to use Google Voice as our voice over IP and everything. The problem is Google just normally doesn't build these integrations with other tools. So you almost get siloed into the Google ecosystem. So Google Voice might work well with other Google products, but the point is you're probably going to be using a CRM. And then the question is, does Gemini meeting notes connect in with your CRM? And probably no. So using something like Granola, you're likely going to have it integrate with most things, and they're going to move more quickly with that. So I think that's just the red flag of like, yes, Gemini Notes is fine. It's just, I don't feel like you really own your data in any way. And by own, I just mean other tools being able to connect into it.
So right now we're using Granola. I think we still believe that they're ahead. I don't know,
Yeah.
6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Anyone's game.
Yeah.
Okay, another audience question. Hello, Alex and Andra. I would love to hear your thoughts about the anxiety-inducing acquisition of Airtable by Bending Spoons. I have some pretty deeply integrated systems in Airtable for my business, and this news is scaring me. I feel like dramatic price increases and more restrictive paywalls are inevitable, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. And they say, thanks for everything you do. Your software recommendations have become a trusted part of my operations role. And
Yeah.
that
awesome.
feels really nice to hear, especially now. Yeah.
So everything that you've said around your expectations of what's going to happen with Airtable because of Bending Spoons is probably very, 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 very accurate. We are long-term Airtable users, been using it for, I don't know, 10 plus years at this point. You can just reflect back on what Bending Spoons is and what they've done in the past. So they purchased Evernote, which was a note-taking app. And the first thing they did was they laid off all of the US-based workforce. They doubled the prices, or I think they raised their prices like 89%. And they kind of added menial features. And the whole point is they're focusing products that have great, deep user bases, that have very deep integrations with systems. And they just know, hey, well, I'm going to do the thing that these companies never did. I'm going to raise the prices and build more efficiencies. So they also, with Harvest, they just acquired Harvest, which we used Harvest for 14 years. Like,
explain what Harvest is.
So Harvest is a time tracking and invoicing app. A lot of people will just call it a time tracking app, and people are revolting quite a bit now because they have always been very reasonable free tier. And then even the solo tier, you could pay like $89 a year or, $100 a year. And you could do invoices through your business. So the whole point of think of like a marketing agency, it's like the perfect tool for them. You track your time, you bill it against a client, and then you invoice them for that time spent. It just did that perfectly. Didn't need to do anything else. They never really updated it or did too many things to it in the past 5-6 years, which as a user was kind of frustrating, but it always kind of just did what it needed to do. So Bending Spoons came in, and not only did they started tweaking some things. They changed the UI a little bit, nothing major, and some people complained about it. But the biggest thing that they did was they even took these solo users that were maybe spending $100 a year. In the one case that I saw, a solo user was spending $200 a year, and they raised the price from, which that would be like, say, $2,400 a year to $24,000 a year. So here you are, this very small company, and they're putting you on the enterprise tier and giving you quote unquote unlimited usage. They're charging people based on usage for tracking time and number of invoices and amount of money revenue generated, and even charging a Harvest fee on top of your Stripe fee. And the Harvest fee is 4% on top of your 2.6% Stripe fee. So they've just added fees and done all the things that they could possibly do. And the problem is people have been using Harvest for 10 years. They have all their data in it. They don't want to change platforms. They're already so deeply integrated into the infrastructure of their entire business. So they're actually kind of being told, hey, do you want to leave this, lose all of your data, or do you want to just pay more money and just continue business as usual? The people that are quite frustrated will quit, but even if 70% of people leave the platform, still 30% will make up for that. And that's the business model of Bending Spoons. And it's sad. It's just the reality. So what does this mean for Airtable? Airtable has always primarily made their money from enterprise accounts. So they had a very generous free tier and they were trying to prepare to go public. And that's where they started more so trying to get rid of aspects of the free tier and just add very like bare bones pricing to it. But then the market got really bad. They ended up not going public. They last raised, I think, at like 11 billion, and then they sold to Bending Spoons for like 2.6 billion, and they had like 1 point something billion cash in hand. So really, the acquisition was for like 1.4 billion, 10 times less than what the company was before. So yeah, the reality is it's probably not great for what's going to happen to Airtable. We're still using it. We still rely on it pretty heavily, but the prices will go up and yes. But through all of this, databases are something that AI is really good at dealing with and doing, that if there was a segment to be disrupted and just replaced by AI, it is just the database. Like, and that's kind of what we're using it for in so many ways. So it's really the businesses that have turned Airtable into their CRM and they have 1,000 employees that are using it. They're not going to move off of it. They're going to pay insane money to Bending Spoons, and those are really probably going to be the businesses that are most impacted by it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to turn a hard left now.
Okay.
So let's talk about the tools that we've changed in our business.
We've been getting a lot of emails of, we will cover a tool and then someone will say, oh, well, are you still using X tool? And we want to kind of just bring you along the journey of what we're using now, what's changed. So one of the biggest questions that we've gotten is, are you still using Motion in your business?
And the answer is yes and no. It's not like we used to. So let me explain. So our business has changed significantly because our previous website was built by you in Webflow, and we
Yeah.
didn't have a team around running the website. Now we have 2 engineers, and the engineers, we learned when we were getting ready to launch our website, we really needed a project management tool that was going to integrate with our code base. So our needs changed because Motion could not do that. So because of that, we had to jump and start using Linear with our engineers, and that sucked you into using Linear.
Which we've shared
Yeah.
shorts showing, like, you can see Bob and John in the
Yeah.
shorts and talking about
Yeah.
what they like and whatever. It's just, it is the tool that is where the people who are using it are in. So for example, Bob can interact with Linear from command line because he's already in command line. It makes him actually use it versus saying, hey, you have to go into Motion, which you have to open a new tab and you have to go it, and you can't use AI to talk to try to find it and everything. So it started to make sense with the way that our business was transforming with AI coding.
So then that left me on the outskirts. And funny enough, in
Yeah.
our startup video, we actually say, like, hey, if you want a project management tool that you're not going to have to, like, don't implement multiple tools. And then somehow we've ended up in this
Yes. We
very
have multiple
position.
tools. Yeah.
I still use Motion as a daily planner. I use it a bit with Garrett, who's
Yeah.
our video editor, and I will still plan the videos in there. The other thing is Garrett's been with us now for a year, so I think we know the process like really well because we've
Yeah.
worked together on so many videos. I think we're 10 plus now. So before we used to put like literally every single
Everything.
detail in
Once
Motion.
the edit is there, now we need to upload it, and what are the steps involved in uploading it?
But as we're so familiar with the process, I've been able to remove steps because it's like we also just do this automatically. I don't need a reminder for that.
Well, and we're also having these conversations in Slack because that's the way that we're already working with it. So
Which is the other bigger thing. So
yeah.
I think, I mean, it's a good time to talk about it now. So we started using Victor. We have a whole video on it, but basically Victor is an AI agent that works inside of Slack or Teams if you use Teams. And it's basically like, yeah, just having this AI employee that's in Slack. So when we're about to launch a video, we've trained Victor to be like, hey, remind us of these things that we need to do.
Garrett needs to rename the video and he needs to, upload it and do this and next step. And Andra, you need to upload the thumbnails and yeah.
And Victor learns like through watching our chats. So then say we learn something new about our process, we can just say, Victor, remember this for next time.
Yeah.
So Victor's kind of like become part of our memory. So now when we're about to launch a video, Victor would say, hey, remember these things. So it's replaced part of what we were using Motion for project management.
Because Motion would alert us when a task or step was done. It's like, cool, now you need to do this, this, and this, which is at the most bare bones level. When we were implementing CRMs, it was always about, cool, move to the next step of the process, what needs to be done. And in a weird way, it's like AI with Victor is just, it sees us finish the step in the process via Slack because we're communicating on that. It's almost just a better place for it to then say, hey, next thing's up, ready to go. And it's timely and, yeah.
But ironically, with all of this, so when you started using Linear with some of the team and I was kind of siloed and I stopped using Motion as much and I was using Victor, I started feeling quite disorganized showing up at my desk every day. I started feeling like I don't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Which is the exact problem that Motion always solved. So I have started taking tasks back and being like, I'm putting them in motion because fundamentally time blocking is just something that works with me and how my brain works. Like I like showing up and being like, what am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, okay. That's how I can actually disconnect at night. If
Yeah.
I don't have like somewhere written down what I need to do, like my mind is just repeating it over and over and over. And then I wake up and I'm already burnt out. So I started putting tasks back in motion. So then it follows me around and I'm like, that is helpful. I guess we had somebody say to us recently, like, a year ago or whatever, 6 months ago, you guys were talking about motion like it was like the best thing that ever happened. And they were kind of saying, like, you changed your mind.
Yeah.
And what I said to them was like, yeah, like, look at the world. Like, I'm not going to like tie myself to any opinion about anything and like go down with that. Like, I want to be able to change my mind on things and tools that we recommend. And we're always going to be recommending the tools like in our fresh content that we are using, loving, freshly evaluated.
You need to keep in mind as well, like we're not a normal team in that we constantly have to pay attention to new tools because our audience will throw it at us. We will see it. We are just like, what do they call it? We're just always online.
Yeah.
And we'll see a new tool launch. It's like Grokbot just launched. And I'm like, I need to see what the deal with that is. I generally have an opinion about what it's doing and everything. But the point is we're kind of forced in our business to play with tools. And I think if a tool hits a certain threshold, then we'll start considering, do we actually move the team over to this tool? And then we'll test kind of team adoption if we do decide that. And if it's too difficult, then maybe we throw it out.
Yeah.
So that's what our job is to do in a way. So if we change tools from one tool to another tool, it's not because you should change the tool to another tool. It's also because that's just what we're forced to do. And our job is sometimes changing to that tool, forming an opinion, doing a write-up. Are we using the tool, yes or no? And if yes, then it kind of becomes part of our core stack.
And sometimes, and not sometimes, a lot of the time we try tools that just don't do it for us. Like, and people love them. Like Adio or Lindy, like everyone was like going crazy about them. And we evaluated them multiple times and we are like, I'm sorry. It's just, there's just not much here for us.
Yeah, because even things that maybe I was using Zapier for, I've kind of conjoined to get Victor to do certain things with it. And it's just been easier because it's been via Slack and I've been saying something. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to monitor your email until this email comes in, then I'll alert you. I'm like, that actually would have been kind of a pain to build in Zapier, even though it's cheaper and more built for that type of thing. So I think the point is, like, if you know anything about us, you know that Zapier was my identity for probably 8 years. I don't really use it or open it at all anymore. And that's weird for me, but that's just the reality of my own usage and my own needs. And the question is, we need to solve a problem in the business. What do I lean toward? And I'm more leaning toward the convenient thing. And AI has actually disrupted a lot of the space. So we will change our opinions. It is not because I don't like Zapier anymore. It is just, I'm looking at my own behavior.
And that's what, like, we're committed to sharing that publicly.
Yeah.
That's going to come with us changing our mind sometimes. Or
like, what about, I guess the sunk cost fallacy is a big part that makes you not want to switch software. What is one tool that we've been using for over a decade?
So we were using Copper for 10 years.
Yeah.
And as our
entire
CRM
business was built on like implementing Copper into businesses. Like we know it like the back of our hands. I know their API, for better or worse, like at the deepest, deepest level, every little crevice of it.
And we just switched off to an actual AI CRM, not this bogus hogus. I've been around for 10, 20 years and slapped on some AI, an actual AI CRM, which is Lightfield.
Yeah.
We just migrated off of Copper.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to talk about why.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't mean that if you're using one of these legacy CRMs or whatever software, you
Or if
should
you're
hop off.
or if you're in our audience, you might be using Copper because we've talked about Copper for 10
Yes.
years. That makes sense.
So, yeah, I just want to cover what happened and why we switched, and
Yeah.
that will help people better understand when they should switch
Yes.
from some old tools. So, first of all, we had Copper set up primarily for our old consulting business. And since we changed to a content business, it was always lagging behind in terms of how we had our processes set up. Like our process had changed enough
Deeply.
that we would have to put in work to reconfigure fields in Copper, pipelines. We would just have to like basically retrain ourselves and anybody using the CRM on how to use it.
Yeah.
So at that point, like what exists in Copper, it just like it was old.
It was our old business.
With that, if you're watching this and you have systems set up in Copper, your team's trained on it, like your process is the same, like absolutely still use it. And that goes
Yeah.
for like any tool, because there is a very big and real opportunity cost to changing software.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time and mental energy, and that is just a ship. Like, don't steer it if you don't have to. But if you're in a transition phase or you're looking for a new tool for the first time, then of course, then that's when you want to consider like all the new options that are
Like,
available.
When switching to Lightfield for us, it was I exported everything from Copper, and then it was kind of I just explained to Lightfield because it's effectively a chatbot will set everything up for you. I explained what our new business is and what that looks like and what was important from the prior CRM. And it only took over the fields that it needed to and the relationships and all these things like that. So at the end of the day, it was kind of consulting me. It was almost like something that I would need someone else to maybe go and spend 40 hours to go set up. They just asked me, the chatbot asked me the questions, and I was able to just kind of have it rebuild what our new business is. I even
Yes.
had it take all of our angel investments like over the years and build out a proper CRM for VC, which now it's like, whoa, it's actually structured properly. And like, we actually now have like quite a robust CRM for both our business efficient app for partnerships and everything on that sort, software evaluation tools, everything. And then for the VC side of things. And it actually is like perfect and beautiful. And it actually didn't take me all that long to set it up because I just needed someone to actually go through and say, what is important in your business? Walk through this. And if we were to even do that in Copper, it would have been a talking through that. You and me would have talked through that. I guess I could have probably talked to AI, but then implementing it would have been something that would have taken a lot of time because these tools don't really let you modify these custom fields
Or
and stuff like that
create custom fields.
Yes, via the API or yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, like for us, we wanted an easy migration. We got it. And I think we're really happy and impressed with using
We're
truly
using
AI
it.
for
We're
CRM.
using
And I
it
think
again.
we're going to do a best CRM video, but I just want to drive home the point. There's absolutely something to using an AI first tool that was actually built in this era. Yes.
I will say, like, for the person who's been using a traditional CRM for 5+ years, you will see the missing features in something like Lightfield.
Right.
And if you can't live with those missing features, then it will be brutal.
Give
for
me
you
like
in a
2
way.
examples.
I mean, one is just like rearranging the custom field ordering. So it's like some of my most important relationship fields, not custom fields, relationship fields. They just added recently rearranging the custom field. So imagine going to your CRM and some of the least important custom fields are at the top and you can't change that.
Yeah.
That would, of course, drive people nuts. Or if a client said that, like, you need to fix this, and we say we can, it's a limitation of the software, they'd be like, what is this shit software? Like, you just know that in our prior business, that type of thing would happen.
Yeah.
I'm cool because I'm like, I know they will fix it and they fix part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that is also kind of what's on board with using an AI for CRM.
Yeah.
They're still building some of the things that you might say, because they're asking the question, what is an AI for CRM? And maybe not building every single feature that a traditional CRM has. Another thing, just to get this across quite a bit, most CRMs are activity-based CRMs. That is like, I'm going to log every single event of everything that happened in chronological order. Whereas Lightfield moves more to kind of a note-based CRM. So you have a full standalone note, and it's like, share the context of like the important decisions that were made and store that in the CRM versus every single text message exchange that happened in like chronological ordering. Um, because it's just like that's a lot of noise. So the question is like, do you go to the CRM? Do you actually reference back, 3 years of these individual whatever? And the answer is probably no. But it's just a totally different way to think about it. So you also need to shift in the way that you think about what is a CRM from your business. And that's why I think we're kind of calling them like traditional CRM versus AI first CRM. And AI first is questioning what should a CRM be, and AI gets better with context. So how do you bring that context? And too much context is noise.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're still figuring out what that, I guess, even explaining that, but that is a very fundamental different thing.
Okay, we're gonna go to another audience Q&A, but first I wanna just ask for this timestamp in time. We're gonna say our favorite AI tool that we're using right now on the count of 3 at the same time, okay? 3, 2, 1. Victor.
Victor, yeah,
It's just honestly
yeah,
been great, and
yeah,
no, we're not invested, and we have
no,
no skin in the game. It's just genuinely we love it. Okay.
yeah.
So we have a question from Jean. What are your thoughts on local first open source AI assistant apps that run entirely on your computer, like Vellum, Jan, anything LLM, and Manus?
Yes, the thing with those tools is like we were talking about this earlier. We are not optimizing to use the most like open, privacy focused, brand new things, self-hosted.
Like you'll notice from our content, we're not builders. We don't go and tinker into Notion. We didn't go down the path of vibe coding. Like we've always been the people that are like, we like software and spending the least amount of time in software.
Yeah,
Like I like writing. I like
yeah,
planning video ideas. I like being creative. Like
yeah.
that's where I get my enjoyment. So I think there's the builder group that gets their enjoyment from building, but we are not that. Like every recommendation on our platforms, our content is
For convenience,
literally
it
the
is like
easiest
yes,
thing with zero setup. Like,
yeah,
how do I get this done
yeah.
without even thinking about it? And then it just works and makes my life better. Like, that's our thesis.
Because we've been beaten down, at least I have been beaten down trying to implement complex tools or local first tools or open source tools into small, mid-sized businesses and startups. And I've just learned that human nature will never let that happen. So you almost need to have such a crazy technical team of builders in
Mhm.
order to run even something like Notion, because you need people to want to be building and modifying. Oh, I have an idea to be able to maintain it and everything. And that's just not how businesses are built.
Okay, part 2 of the question, are AI models and apps designed for European compliance standards a better choice for security?
Europe has a I don't know, a higher bar or a higher floor, whatever you want to call it, in terms of like privacy. So take GDPR. You can't store people's emails unless they've given you like authority to do that, and these dreaded cookie banners, like they've set a floor that is higher, but something inherently being built for European standards does not necessarily make it like privacy focused or safe. It's just a higher floor from whatever that
Mhm.
is. So you could be a non-European focused company and still have very high security and do GDPR and do all of these things, because if you are a business, you probably need to be doing GDPR, because do you service any European customers? If so, yes, then yes, you do need to comply with GDPR.
I guess I trust the software companies to handle security better than I
Yeah.
would handle security, so that's where my default is.
Like everyone would say with crypto, you need to get one of these physical wallets. If you're on Coinbase, you are giving up your security and
Mhm.
privacy. Well, guess what? One of the largest ledgers, physical ledgers, just got hacked because the way that they generated the token had to be offline because it could never connect to the internet. So there was an actual algorithmic solution for AI to figure out. So it found everyone's seed phrases and it stole everyone's tokens. So people are laughing that they're like, I've been made fun of by people, the fact that I would use like a Coinbase or Gemini. And they'd say, you have to, if you don't own your keys, you don't own your wallet. And it's like, well, guess who got hacked first by AI? It was actually the people that were not protected by some level of Coinbase, who is building with AI to protect from AI. Like it's just like you can't write this stuff. It's just,
Damn,
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Okay, final part of the question. Do you think companies like Superhuman and Bending Spoons will lean into privacy and capture a more global customer base?
Oh gosh, do I want to say this?
You will get canceled, but go for
Well,
it.
I don't know. It's just the reality is the market is so large in the US, and the majority of people signing up for software are US based. The people that are spending the most amount of money, the like any companies value US users more often. So to even try to go more international and more broad and try to go privacy focused, look at the privacy focused tools and see how big their TAM is, how big their revenue is. It's not really a winning strategy if you're actually trying to grow in this AI world.
Yeah. Predictions from our last podcast. We don't do these that often,
Okay.
but let's talk quickly about vibe coding coming down from the high. So, this Reddit user posted and said, I self hosted a CRM a few weeks ago. It cost me more than a pro plan on any popular CRM. If any of you remember, I was self hosting 20 weeks ago. I happened to self host on Railway. The bill came today and was very much unexpected. Now we're back to square one looking for a free or inexpensive CRM with webhook integrations and enrichment. These are the most important features. Well, I have some thoughts.
Okay.
My thoughts are yes, this makes sense. This person, I don't know what their business is, but the amount of time that they are spending trying to save the like $50 a month or whatever it is from paying for a CRM is like I just want to tell them just pay
Yeah.
per seat. Stop trying to look for like the free tool. It's okay. Just pay for the seat and focus on the business and generating revenue.
It's probably easier for someone who is earlier on in the business to try to build their own thing, thinking that they're saving money because software sounds expensive when you're starting out. But just think of like our business has ebbed and flowed some years, even parts of the year. Just imagine at the busiest part of the year where we are all drowning, if we also had to be the ones to maintain the vibe coded software that was the infrastructure of our business. How devastating that would be and how much we would pay in that moment to get rid of that pain. But you don't know that until you feel that. And then you maybe don't value these tools just doing the thing naturally out of the box until you've ran a business and experienced that. You're not going to make a meaningful impact by saving 4% of your revenue. Like all you can ever grow is by 4% of your revenue, but then there's still costs associated with self-hosting.
And somebody just asked us recently, like, do you guys think that software is dead again? And we're like, actually, not at
No.
all. And like, we're even more confident than when we recorded that
Yes.
podcast,
Yeah.
whatever, many months ago now.
Yeah.
Software is not going anywhere.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you enjoyed this video, I hope
I enjoyed this video.
you enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know. I'm curious which of these segments, you can go to the chapter markers. Let us know which one was your favorite because I'm curious what people are most interested in. Is it like the general questions about like bending spoon? Is it about the software changes that
Bending
we're
spoons,
making?
plural.
Did I not say
They
bending
bend many
spoons?
spoons, not just one. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm curious, like, people's responses to these questions. Like, do you agree with us, disagree with us, like, have different takes?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
curious. And if you want to watch another podcast, watch Claude Failed You.
Yeah.
That's one of our favorites that
No
we did.
idea what way to point in any way. Yeah.